Shut up, it is not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Black is traditional. But if you'd prefer pink, or vermilion, or chartreuse.
Where should I put my shoes? Ay, mi amor. You say put them on your head. Ay, mi amor. You make me un poco loco, un poquitito loco.
Welcome back to No Stupid Questions, where I answer the things I was too scared to ask as a beginner, and today we're going to be talking about communicating with deities, or entities, or spirits, or whatever you're trying to talk to. First, a disclaimer to let you know that otherworldly communication is going to look different for everybody. To approach it with respect and, most importantly, discretion. Okay? Got it? Good. Best way to start out when you're a beginner is to do divination or ask for signs. Divination can be done in like a billion different ways: tarot cards, pendulums, scrying, whatever you feel like. It can also be really good to look up how historically the gods were communicated with. You can use divination to get really simple yes or no answers, like with a pendulum, or you can get more complicated stuff like with tarot cards or scrying or whatever. You can start to look for identifiers, which are things that are going to show up repeatedly when you're speaking with a certain deity. You can also ask for signs in your dreams or in the real world, whatever works for you. In doing this and getting your identifiers, you're going to start to get much more acquainted with the energy and how that deity feels when you're communicating with them. At that point, if you want, you can cut out the middleman and just start asking your questions directly and being present with your thoughts to get the answers. This will allow you to start feeling their presence in your everyday life, not just when you're divining or doing signs or something like that.
The Egyptians believed the most significant thing you could do in your life was die.
Keep them 40s poppin', so just get buzzed and say fucked up, we'll keep them panties dropping. When I start drinking, my dick does all my thinking. Hoes want to be seen with me, and unlike their big thick titties, teacups with sex.
Steven! I thought you were dead!
He's in the wall. He's in the goddamn wall!
The power of Christ compels you.
Does it, Jay?
The power of Christ compels you.
The power of Christ compelling me? Is that what's happening?
The power of Christ compels you.
Guess what? It's not that compelling.
I don't even like you. Yes, you do! Why do you keep saying that? Everything you're doing contradicts that. The answer was, I was worshiping the wrong epithet. This has been going on for months.
I'm right here to stay, and I won't stray. I'll be right in my prime. Living in the sunlight, loving in the moonlight, having a wonderful time.
Let's talk about offerings. Why do we give them? What offerings do we give? And how do we get rid of them? So first I'm going to start with the why. We give offerings to spirits and deities to show them reverence or respect, or just give them thanks for something. So for example, for like their presence in your life. There's also votive offerings, which just basically means that you sort of going to use a test as an example. So like, hey, if you help me out on this test, I'm going to give you an offering later. And you specify that offering. Let's get into what offerings we can give to spirits and deities. First, I have physical objects. This is great if you have an altar space set up for that spirit or that deity, and you can just basically give them physical objects, or like their statues, maybe some decorations of their symbols. So if you're working with a chthonic deity, you can give them a skull or something like that. Next, we have burnt offerings, which can be a prayer that's written on paper and later burned, or you can burn herbs and the flowers that are associated with the exact spirit or deity that you're giving the offering to. Personally, I frequently give liquid offerings, which are also sometimes called libations. This can be water, moon water, tea, alcohol. It really depends on the spirit or the deity that you're working with. The same goes for food. It depends on the preference of the spirit or the deity that you're working with. Libations or food can be offered and left outside, or again, if you have an altar space set up for them, you can just leave it on their altar. When it comes to food and liquid offerings, I leave it on the altar for 1 to 2 days. I don't want it to mold, and also, yeah, just don't want it to get gross. Next, you can offer them jewelry and then wear it in their honor. For example, I'm wearing this key today that I've dedicated to Queen Persephone, and I'm wearing it in her honor. This can also help you connect with them throughout the day. The last kind of offering that I'm going to mention today are actually devotional acts. So this is basically just an activity that you're doing in honor of that deity or with that deity or spirit in mind. So for example, if you're working with the goddess of spring, you can take a walk outside. If you're working with chthonic deities, you might want to research necromancy. It truly depends on the deity and the spirit that you're working with. When it comes to getting rid of these physical offerings, once that deity or that spirit leaves, most of the time you can keep the physical offerings, but some deities may want you to actually donate them. This is everything I have for you today. If there's any other topic that you might want me to cover, just let me know. Have a great day.
Who the fuck dare to call me when I'm so busy?
Let's petition a god or goddess using my new petition invocation candles. Hellenic gods are known for liking their epithets called, so that is what the label on this candle does, so that you have a way to call, invoke that deity into your space. From here, you remind the deity of your cars, your relationship with them. If I've ever given you such and such, if I've ever done such and such for you. Once you've reminded them of that relationship, either underneath via a written petition, or if you just want to speak it out loud to said deity, you may as well. Lastly, I would then make any promises of gifts or offerings to her for carrying out said petition. Once that is done, whoop, you light it up. And that is how you use my new invocation and petition candles, or just petition a deity in general.
He was the one that made us. You'll be the one to save us. Around, welcome to the circus. Power down, are you feeling nervous? His voice needs to deceive you. My voice just wants to leave you.
You're a witch. Get the fuck up.
You right.
Go do some spells or some shit. Why are you crying?
You ain't never fucking lied.
Let's talk about traditional Greek prayer. Part 1 of probably many. Disclaimer. There are many different sources that I am drawing upon for this, but the main one is a book called Prayer in Greek Religion. Although it is only secondhand accounts of this book, as I have not personally read it myself, because I believe it costs like $90, and I'm a 4th year broke college student. So when I say the word prayer, most people think of the Christian version of prayer, where it's like in Catholicism, where they have specific prayers like the Our Father, the Hail Mary, so on and so forth. But then there's also the different types of prayer where you just are speaking with God. Well, the same thing can be said about ancient pagan religions, or specifically in this case, ancient Greek religions is what I'm talking about. We have lots of evidence to suggest that there are specific structures that prayers were taken. Some examples of where these structures can be found are in like Hesiod's Theogony, and as well as epics from the time like the Iliad and the Odyssey. A lot of time, people will just recite these prayers that already exist, and that's totally valid. But you can also make your own using the same structure. Greek prayer can be broken up into 3 segments. Pay attention to the number 3, it shows up a lot. The 3 segments are invocation, argument, and request. I will go more into these in later parts because there is a lot that goes into each aspect of it. By combining these 3 aspects, you are able to make your own traditional prayer. And these can be used as prayers of thanks for an offering, prayers of requests for if there's something you really need, so on and so forth. In the next part, I'm going to explain what invocation means.
Hey, Hades. Do you think I'm ever gonna find love? Oh, god damn it.
Redo Lady Aphrodite's altar with me. New gold tray. Cleanse away the capitalism. Putting her things back. Final reveal.
And I say, hello, Satan. I believe it is time to go. Me and the devil walking side by side.
Good day, I'm Bob the Necromancer, and today we're doing an unboxing.